What is going on, everybody? It is Big B Brick Reviews here, and today I'm going to be doing a little comparison video between two products that are the same idea, just from different companies. And those products are the Brick Tactical MP5 versus the BrickArms MP5. Now, both I think are very decent, but I favor one more than the other. And the one I like more than the other is the Brick Tactical one, because I feel like it's more detailed. Peyton took a lot more time into making this, and yes, because we have better 3D printers that do better jobs, better than Will Chapman's did back in 2006, because that's when I believe he created this version of the MP5 in BrickArms form. And I just feel like Brick Tactical, they know what they're doing. And I know BrickArms does too, but there are a few things that I love Brick Tactical did better than the BrickArms MP5. Now, for starters, I feel like the handle, it's too slanted. The MP5 is like too much on an angle, if you guys catch my drift. Like, let me show you what I mean in a minifigure's hand. Now, as you can see, the stock right here, it like pokes into the minifigure's arm, which it does leave a mark if you put it in the hand too hard, if you know what I mean. Like if you push it down. And what I meant was, like, it looks like the MP5, it looks like it's shooting off to an angle instead of at the minifigure. I know you can always move the arm down, but I feel like that looks awkward. So yeah. And if you notice, this doesn't have a trigger, and I don't know if you guys can see the little dot, but I feel like that's supposed to symbolize, oh, this is the auto switch thing, whether it's semi-auto, burst fire, or fully automatic. Now, as for the Brick Tactical version, oh my goodness. He put so much detail into this. And yes, granted, this one was made many years later after BrickArms version. Okay? But still, my point still stands. Okay? I mean, look, he's got it so you could like line up the sights. He has a trigger in the handle piece. And he even has the switch visible. If you look closely, you see that like little droplet looking thing? He has it set, I believe, on fully automatic, but he packs detail into it. And honestly, whenever I think of the MP5, the very first movie I think of when I hear MP5, I'm going to show you a figure if you guys can guess what it's from. So I always think of Die Hard whenever I hear MP5. I can't remember if that's the specific movie that made this weapon famous in the movies, but I always think of Die Hard whenever I hear the words MP5. And if you guys haven't seen Die Hard, it's an old movie. It's an old action movie with Alan Rickman, and he plays the bad guy. And if you guys didn't know, Alan Rickman played Snape in the Harry Potter movies, but you can definitely hear Snape's voice. That's like literally all I heard when I was seeing Alan Rickman in Die Hard. And I always think of that one scene when the elevator opens up and Alan Rickman goes to the dead terrorist body, and the note reads, "Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho." Because the movie takes place, I believe, on Christmas Eve, I think. And there's like this huge debate whether it's like, oh, it's not a Christmas movie, it's an action movie. Well, it takes place on Christmas Eve, so it's technically a Christmas movie. So, but yeah. I also think of a certain event in particular that kind of gave the MP5 its anti-terrorist reputation. Um, it was the Iranian embassy siege. Now I know this does not look entirely like the Iranian embassy siege soldier, and well, at least one of them in particular. But I was looking at this minifigure the other day, and I'm like, huh, kind of looks like one. But the Iranian embassy siege, that particular event, that was a true thing that happened, and that kind of made the MP5 an anti-terrorist weapon because it was a siege. There were 26 hostages and 6 terrorists. At the end of it, one hostage was killed by the terrorist, and 5 terrorists were killed by the SAS. And it was just a very intense situation with a lot on the line. So, yeah, now let's look at this MP5 in a minifigure, well, a dummy minifigure's hand. Now, this one is at somewhat of an angle, but not too slanted up. And again, I love the detail Brick Tactical packed into this specific firearm because whenever I hear the word submachine gun, and usually like in video games, when you go to the submachine gun section, the icon is the MP5 because it's so famous. It is so famous, and it made a reputation for itself. And I love the MP5. There are variants of the MP5, and Brick Tactical does make them. Uh, if you want, I could show you. Now these are all from Brick Tactical. He thought of making the variants, which I'm very happy he did, because my favorite variant is the MP5 SD with an integral suppressor, and oh my gosh, he did such a good job. And I can show you all 5 of the MP5 variants from the original down to the smallest one. Here's the original, and whenever I think of MP5, this specific one pops into my head with, I believe, the A5 stock. The MP5 SD, my favorite MP5 variant due to the integral suppressor, and if you look up what is the quietest submachine gun, the MP5 SD will be the answer, at least to my knowledge, because that's what I see whenever I look up what is the quietest submachine gun, and the MP5 SD is the holder for that title. The MP5, the MP5 PDW, I like how Brick Tactical included the triangular stock. That's very interesting, and I like how he added a foregrip. That was very cool, and I love I believe it's called the muzzle end. I think that's very cool. Very, very cool. The MP5 SD with a sliding stock. And what Breck Tactical did with this specific one was that he made it shorter so that it doesn't dig insanely into the minifigure's arm. But I like the MP5 SD this way. I like the MP5 SD this way better than the one with the sliding stock. And finally, the last of the MP5 variants I own in minifigure form from Brick Tactical, the MP5K. And I always think of dual wielding these because that's what you see in the movies. And I just think it'd be so cool to dual wield them. And I have another one. You know what? Fine, I'll just show you a dual wield MP5K minifig. Oh yeah, MP5 guns akimbo, baby. I just think that looks so cool right there. That's so awesome. Now you see what I mean? How BrickArms MP5 is much more slanted up. Another reason why I like Brick Tactical's version better. Overall, I love Brick Tactical's version better, but you guys are also entitled to your own opinions. BrickArms did do a good job, but in the end, I gotta go with Brick Tactical on this one, just because of how much better I think his MP5 looks. And yeah, until next time, guys, this is Big B Bricks out.